Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Covering both sides of the big issues with the analysis you trust on News Radio 1040 WHO.
If you have a job that AI is going to take over from you, that grand might come in useful. Let's bring on our expert. He is, let me get the mouse to work. There we go. He is Scott Baradell. You're very welcome, sir. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So AI, whole bunch of jobs are on the line here, and of course, if you've seen Terminator movies or iRobot, we know how this ends anyway. So, so not a good thing. Anyway, what jobs are under threat?
Well, that's a very good question, and I don't think anyone knows the answer completely. But we know that jobs that are repetitive tasks, in the same way that in the past that the blue collar, conveyor belt, assembly line kind of jobs have kind of gone away and replaced by robotics. I think we're looking at a lot of white collar jobs that are repetitive tasks, from AP processing, a lot of kind of the back office things that happen within businesses. A lot of that is already being automated, and this is just going to accelerate that process.
So I've got some of the list here. Software development, that's under risk. In other words, computers will be programming computers. I really have seen this movie, by the way. IT operations and help desk, no. You know, I get so sick and tired of sitting on trying to talk to customer service and repeatedly saying human to any question it asks me. Human. And if I get bored, I might switch it up to operator.
That's right. Well, I think that's the key, is the jobs that are going to be safest are the ones where human interaction is most important, or manual labor. That's obviously a big one. The plumbers and the construction workers, these are jobs that are not going to go away. The jobs that are interacting with people like counselors, therapists, teachers, jobs, sales, retail. There are a lot of sectors that shouldn't, at least anytime soon, be dramatically affected, but there are others that will, and maybe some that you might not expect. You might think, say, long-haul truckers would be safe, but most people are predicting within 15 years or so that self-driving trucks are going to basically wipe out long-haul trucking in terms of real people driving trucks. It might seem like science fiction, but we probably didn't think a few years ago we weren't going to have cashiers in stores.
Well, they're going back on that. Have you heard that? That they're taking them out now, these self-checkouts, a lot of the stores, for a couple of reasons. First of all, they actually have to devote staff to those areas anyway. Something goes wrong, they need help, one of the machines stops working, somebody's watching for theft. So they have to put resources there anyway, and meanwhile people are fed up of being an unpaid cashier. So,
right.
and as I say, there is theft. That's a big one. People are shoplifting. I'm not that way inclined, but I understand how easy it would be.
Yes, and I think it's only a matter of time before they perfect it. I think if it's coming back to have people doing it, it's probably temporary, but I hope it's not, because I prefer a person checking me out too.
Legal and accounting. I don't want to be dealing with a machine at tax time, and I don't want to be dealing with a machine at lawyer time either.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's funny, but all of these jobs, these professionals are using tools like ChatGPT. In fact, there's just a case in Colorado where an attorney was fired and also suspended from the bar in Colorado because he cited fake cases made up by ChatGPT in court. So
Wow.
You've got to check your facts with this stuff. It's not quite perfect.
Wow. All right. I also said before, funeral director. I don't want to see a machine. I want to see a human. I want to feel some empathy.
Absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you mentioned customer service. I mean, people's tolerance for automated customer service. Certain things you need a person, and certain things, if it's going to be automated in situations where somebody's frustrated, which is often the case with customer service, you better have the system down to solve the problem. That's the biggest problem, is that these automated systems aren't where they need to be to truly replace humans. And in some cases, they may never be. In other cases, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's very interesting because if I have to call customer service for something and I get a human being on the other end of the phone, as long as they're reasonable and understand that I have an issue that they can help me with, I never get mad about it. I mean, never. In fact, sometimes I go out of my way and point out, look, I'm not the guy that's going to shout at you. You didn't do it. I get you're doing a job. This is my problem. Help me fix it. That's kind of how I approach it. But if I can't get out of the machine part of it, I do get really frustrated with the machine. And my demand for a human, the volume does increase with each attempt to get a human being on the other end of the phone.
That's right. Well, 20 years ago or so, that was when all the outsourcing was happening, and you'd have people complaining that the human they were talking to had an accent from the Philippines or India. Well, that's something that people would gladly have today. That just shows you how times change and the things that we complain about change.
Yeah, you see, that never bothered me, except when you were clearly talking to India. If you know anything about your accents, and the guy on the other end of the phone says, "Hi, I'm Randy." And I want to no, you're not. That is not your name. Please don't start with a lie. Let's invest in the truth, because I know you're not Randy. So, right?
So true. People
right.
like a little authenticity with the brands they deal with. That's for sure.
I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, so it's what's fascinating is what's in danger. What a good chance of something being overtaken is. This is fascinating. A cook. Now, are we talking fast food here?
Well, there's certainly something that's been they've got examples and prototypes of these out there of fast food places and different kinds of establishments trying to emulate and replace, if not all, a good part of the workers, and making the argument that they can do it better. So we'll see. Certainly, I wouldn't think you would go to AI for or automation for fine dining, but perhaps the whole fast food industry in the U.S. started with McDonald's, and the thing that was its appeal is that it kind of had an assembly line quality. So the idea that something like McDonald's might turn into a true automated assembly line, it's not outside the realm of possibilities.
No, I see that. I absolutely see that, especially as they, some of the states like California keep bumping up the hourly rate to a point where they can't actually make it work anymore. So already you're not giving your order to a human. You're punching it in on a machine. And it won't be long before the whole cooking thing's done. I'm sure that's right. But my wife and I, we like to eat Indian a lot and Chinese. I don't see AI doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't see that changing anytime soon. Hopefully not.
All right, fascinating. Do you think I'm safe?
Well, you're safe, but you might move to streaming or podcast or something else. I don't know how safe broadcast radio is. We'll see.
We're already streaming, brother. We're already doing that. We already podcast this thing, so we're already on top of all of that.
You're already covered.
So if you don't want to listen to us live, then you don't have to anymore. But we're great live. We're really good live. Sometimes we take it on the road as well.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, personalities, you can't replace a personality with a machine.
There you go.
You can try to train your AI to. They say you can train your AI to have a particular tone of voice and to mimic your personality, but
Scott, I've got a secret for you. This is for real. The best talk radio hosts, have some degree of ADD. That's absolutely the truth. And it is not unusual to hear me go, "Oh, squirrel," and go off on a tangent. So AI is never going to be able to do that. So you may get some version of it, but it won't be that. All right, my friend. Thank you very much. If people want to find out more about you, where do they go?
Well, I've got an agency for a PR and marketing agency called Idea Grove. You can go there, ideagrove.com. I've got a book out called Trust Signals, which is about some of the things we've talked about here and how brands can earn people's trust in such a crazy, changing world that we're in.
Well, that's great. So you didn't give a website, though, did you? Did I miss that?
Ideagrove.com and also trustsignals.com. So the book website is trustsignals.com and the agency is ideagrove.com.
There you go. All right, Scott, thanks very much for coming on. I appreciate it. You have yourself a great rest of the day, sir, all right?
You too. Take care.